guys? Welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Beating the market one trade at a time. If you guys are new to the channel, Market Marauders is a channel that basically helps you find good picks in the market. So, if that's something that interests you, hit that subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Now, today I'm giving you my top 3 penny picks. I do it every week, and I try to have them on the weekends uploaded. So make sure you look forward to that. Hit that bell notification down below. Also down below, there's some suggestions for some books to read, some reading material. The links do help the channel if you click on them. So just bear that in mind. But I think they're really good literature for anybody who's starting to begin their investment journey. Or someone who's a veteran trader, been trading for a while. The more knowledge when it comes to trading in the stock market, the better, if anybody knows. Now let's dive into my top 3 option picks for the week. So jumping into number 1, we have ticker sign PG. So that's for Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble makes a lot of different things, but one of the main things they make is toilet paper. So if you guys have been looking in the news, trying to figure out, hey, what's that company that makes all the toilet paper? This is that company. Procter and Gamble has been making toilet paper as well as a lot of other household items like Tide, detergents and stuff like that for quite a long time. Their moving average 50 is $122.58. Their moving average 200 is $118.59, and they ended the week on Friday at 114.07, but I think that's definitely going to go back up. It's a pretty good price to enter at since it's below their moving average 50 and moving average 200. And bear in mind that on Monday, because today is Sunday when this is recorded, on Monday the 16th, that these prices are going to be different. This is based on when the market was closed, and if the market opens on Monday, the prices will definitely be different compared to what they are now. So just bear that in mind on whenever you watch this. Depending on whatever day, the price will be different. So on videos like this, I like to give a lot of background information as well, not just show you charts. I believe just reading charts and following patterns is pretty much pointless in my opinion when it comes to trading. Real trading, I believe, is jumping into press releases, reading articles, financials, all the other information about the company, and learning what they produce and the company as a whole, how they make their profits, and what is considered a good and bad time to invest into the company. So there's a lot more that goes into trading than just reading charts and looking at different patterns. Now I know a lot of traders out there. No offense to the people that if that's what you do, you just read charts and you don't care about, hey, what this company does or what they do. But I think in order to become a true investor, in my opinion, I think you really need to know what the company does to help you make more informed decisions when it comes to trading, especially as retail traders. You're using your own capital, so it hits more than just going and trying to use somebody else's capital. I want somebody to master, increasing their own capital before they go to trying to um, go and invest someone else's capital. And I think, as people on YouTube, it's kind of our responsibility to, lead people in the right way. I think this is the right way to do things. That being said, going into one of the press releases from P&G, we can see they announced their fiscal 2020 second quarter. Now, this is old. This is from January, but just to show that their net sales were up 5%, organic sales up 5%, and diluted net EPS $1.41. Their core was up 16%. So let's read some of this. So Procter & Gamble reported second quarter fiscal 2020 net sales of $18.2 billion, an increase of 5% versus the prior year. Excluding the net impacts of foreign exchange, acquisition, divestitures, organic sales also increased 5%. Diluted net earnings per share were $1.41, up 16% versus versus the prior year. Core earnings per share increased 14% to $1.42. Currency neutral core EPS increased 15% versus the prior year. Operating cash flow was 4.4 billion for the quarter. Free cash flow productivity was 100%. So that's a crazy number. The company returned 5.4 billion of cash to shareholders through 1.9 billion in dividend payments and 3.5 billion of common stock repurchases. So basically, they're a company that's been around for a long time, and they do have a dividend, which means for owning a share of the stock, you get paid, which is always a fantastic thing when owning stock. So one metric that I want us to look at on here is that their volume for healthcare was 11%. So 5% organic volume and 7% organic sales. Now this number is going to increase tremendously when it comes to having the company sell what they've sold. So, when it comes to healthcare, baby, feminine, and family, I think all three of these categories will basically increase. All of them will increase, but I think these three categories: healthcare, fabric and home care, baby, feminine, and family care. I think those are all going to increase significantly when it comes to their next earnings. So I think it's a pretty good pick now, and it's really good to get into it now before their next earnings, because their next earnings comes and people catch on. I think it's going to be too late to try to buy an option for it. So that's why I picked them as one of my options. Now diving into Robinhood. Yes, I still support Robinhood, even though they had their hiccups a couple weeks prior. Still, going with Robinhood. It's one of the companies that uh, I've been with forever, in my opinion. I'm not endorsed by Robinhood at all. This is just me personally. I do use Robinhood. I haven't used any other trading platform, so I just believe it works for me. And those 2 days that of trading, stuff happens, and I believe that they'll get it right next time. So for you guys who are still on Robinhood, I'll be talking about Robinhood when it comes to trading options. And if you guys are new to options and you would like to get into trading options with Robinhood, there's a link down below where you can sign up to Robinhood and begin trading options. Now, on Robinhood, you'll have to make an account when you sign up using the link. And then also, you'll have to go into your account itself and then click the part of your account that says options. So, there's once you get the app, it'll just be trading, buying and selling just regular stocks. But then once your account is approved, you'll go in and then sign up for doing options. And then it took me about probably like less than a day to get approved. So it was a very, very quick process to be approved to trade options. So it's not like a super long turnaround when it came to that. Um, if you guys are new to trading options, basically you have two different options. You have a call and you have a put. For me, I personally only buy calls or puts. I don't sell calls and puts. But in terms of buying calls and buying puts for the purpose of this video, buying a call means you believe that the price is going to go up to a certain amount. Buying a put means you believe that the price is going to go down below a certain value. So in this specific example, I'm going to say buying a call is what I recommend. So if you see I already have four calls that I've already purchased at a strike price at 145. But I think the range between 135 and 155 is a pretty good range when it comes to buying a call for Procter and Gamble. Now the price fluctuation on that is going to be between $150 and $26. So also something to bear in mind. When it comes to buying this, they're all reflected based on the share price. So all these prices will change, but the strike price will not change. So if you log into Robinhood on Monday, you may say, hey, this 145 strike may be worth $1.50 now. That's just because the price changes based on the share price. So these are all considered out of the money options, and out of the money just basically means it hasn't gotten to that value, whether up or down. So if you have an out of the money option for a call, that basically means that the option has not gotten to that price or above. If you have an out of money option for a put, that means that the price has not gotten below that certain price. So this is considered an out of the money option for a call, which means it has not gotten to $145 a share, so it's considered out of the money. And if we go down and we scroll down on here, we can see this is where the share price is. And if you go to the in the money options, they're significantly more expensive than the out of the money options. Hence why I buy all of my options out of the money. Now, there are different people, different price points for a lot of different people. If it's in your budget to buy, buying these different options, then be my guest. Just for me, I don't like to spend too much money when it comes to options. I like to get in at a good price and turn that price around for a profit. So, if you're new to buying options, this is going to be the price that you pay for your option, and this is per contract. One contract is the equivalent of 100 shares, so one contract is equivalent, basically saying you're going to buy 100 shares at this price. So when you buy it, you're going to be paying $26 for one contract. So if you see 0.75, that means it's $75 per contract. Likewise, $1.50 is $150 per contract at this strike price. And vice versa, you go down here, you have 110 strike price. It's going to be $1,250 per contract. So you see the price definitely shoots up quite a bit as you go to in the money options opposed to out of the money options. Now that being said, that's my first pick for options, and the expiration date of May the 15th. Now I chose that expiration date because if we go to Robinhood, we can see on their page that their actual earnings is going to be on April 21st in pre-market. So going back to here, we can see that April 24th and May 1st. I just like to have a buffer when it comes to buying my options to make sure that there's a time that I can get in and get out when the market actually reflects that. So I don't like to get it too close to earnings, even though it changes, because I think earnings definitely delays price. So it'll go up, it'll have a large spike once the earnings comes out, but I think, as more people see the value of the stock, it'll continue to go up. And I like to have a buffer to actually let that happen. So that's why I have a couple weeks after earnings. Is always a good buffer for me when it comes to buying my options. That's just me, personal opinion. You guys can go and try to buy it closer to the earnings, but that's just the way that I do it. Going to my number two suggestion, we have ticker sign J&J. That's for Johnson and Johnson. Now Johnson and Johnson, the moving average 50 is $145.08. Moving average 200 is $135.59, and they ended the week at $134.29. So they're not too far below their moving average 200. They're a little bit under their moving average 50. So Johnson and Johnson, I chose them because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of things that they're doing to help what's going on in the media. Jumping into this article, we can see Johnson & Johnson announced collaboration with Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Sorry if I butchered that. To accelerate vaccine development. So basically, they're trying to help find a cure, which is, always a good thing when a company can help do that. But they also make products that people use, like hand soaps, lotions, things that consumer staples that I think people are going to be buying in times like this. They're going to be loading up on, and that's going to reflect in their price. for their revenue when they have their earnings. So going into J&J, into Robinhood, we can see that they have a earnings. Let's see if they have their earnings on here. They have earnings on April 4th in pre-market. So if we go to Robinhood, the actual options side, we can see they have May the 15th is another time that I have for that. I currently have two already purchased. And I say, going to a price between 165 and 180. So between 165 and 180, I think is a good target price, considering how much people have bought when it comes to consumer staples. I think I've seen shelves blown out in stores near me, and that's just more revenue for these companies. And I think that's just the first wave of people buying more and more of these products. I think once it's sold out, the company's going to make more, but I think it's going to be a second wave of people buying more who missed out the first time. So that's when things like that happen. I think we'll definitely see the profits of these companies increase because of that. So I think a price between 165 and 180 will definitely be pretty good. So if you're looking to buy, that's going to be the price between $17 and $57. So I chose 170 as my price. And that's just personally where I picked, just because it was right in between 180 and 165, and the actual price that I paid for was reasonable for me and my budget. So going into my number three option, I'm going to say, is ticker sign COST. This is for Costco Wholesale Corporation. If you've seen any news article, you've seen videos, people just going crazy at Costco's, buying all the stuff, buying all the toilet paper, buying everything really. And that's going to directly reflect in their stock price continuing to go up. Definitely increasing the revenue of the company as a whole. And, I can just only see them going up from here. Now, going into their price, their moving average 50 is $3.06. No, $306.01. Sorry, I butchered that one. Moving average 20 is 289. And they ended the week at $3.02. No, $302.27. So they're right in between their moving average 50 and moving average 200. They're a little closer to their moving average 50, and I think that was just a lot of people short sold this. They got their profits and they kind of got out, but I think it's going to continue to rise back up, in my opinion. If we go to one of their press releases, we can see Costco Wholesale Corporation. This was released March 5th. Reports second quarter and year over year. And year-to-date operating results for fiscal 2020 and February sales. Basically just shows U.S. 9%, going to, let's go to net sales. So net sales for the quarter increased 10.5% to 38.26 billion, from 34.63 billion last year. Net sales for the first 24 weeks increased 8.1% to 74.49 billion from 68.94 billion last year. So this says due to Thanksgiving sales, because it's a one in the past. But when they come out with their next earnings, we're definitely going to see this definitely increase. It's definitely going to be more than just this, Thanksgiving rush. This is like our monumental levels for the company, and I think the stock price will definitely reflect that. So jumping into Robinhood, I'm going to say for Costco, ticker sign COST, I say a price between 375 for strike price and 395 is probably going to be a good margin or barrier to entry. Expiration date, let's say May 15th as well, just to give it a little time for those numbers to actually come in for April. And you're going to be looking at price between $193 and $230. Now, those aren't too expensive, but they're a little more expensive than some of the other ones. But it's all depending on your budget and what you want to pay when it comes to that. But I think they're pretty good moves, especially since you've seen this stuff in the news. And I think, once those earnings come out, this price is definitely not going to be at 193 for that contract. I think it's going to go up tremendously once those earnings actually for April come out and those numbers are released. And then, you know, the stock's just basically going to shoot up. So I think now is a good time to go in while, people can still see it in the media. And I'm surprised that it's actually not more than what it was, because I know, with Tesla and its whole run that it had in the past, it was like any article that came out, the options just went crazy. But I don't think people are really gearing that or gauging it as much when it comes to these consumer staples and stores as much as they did Tesla. But I think it definitely does have the same effect, and it could have the same effect once these numbers actually come out. So April is going to be a pretty interesting month for all these stocks. Most of them are in April, so look for these actual earnings to come out. And for you guys who stayed to the end of the video, I actually have two more bonus ones for you all. So for you guys who stayed to the end of the video, thank you. Thank you for watching. Now I'm going to dive into my bonus two options for the week. So the first one is going to be ticker sign LH. So LH is Laboratory Corporations of America Holding. So they actually went down quite a bit. They ended the week at 151.02. Their moving average 50 is 179.07, and their moving average 200 is 171.32. Now they've been doing a lot of things in the news, and been helping with test centers and things like that. But I think once you know that's actually established and there are more test centers and things of that nature that are actually popping up and their earnings comes out, I think we'll definitely see this stock shoot back up to at least its moving average 200. So going into one of the press releases, says LabCorp launches test for you know uh, and it says leading global right. A leading global life science company that is deeply integrated in guiding patient care is making LabCorp 2019 NAA test today. So basically, they're making a test for you know what's going on, and then the vaccine. There's different testing centers that are popping up all over the U.S. and any company that I think is directly related to that, I think will benefit from that, because test is one of the things that has been kind of the buzzword of what they're needing. So a company that helps develop that, I can definitely see becoming way more profitable in the future as far as revenue is concerned. So diving into Robinhood, let's go to here. We can see that their earnings is actually going to be on the 30th of April. So right towards the end of April. So April's definitely going to be a really interesting month for all of these companies, and one to look out for when it comes to investing. But you want to jump in before all that happens. So I'm saying that a strike price between 230 and 195 be a pretty good entry point. Now these are a little more pricey, but it's because LabCorp is a lot more pricey. Their actual value is 152.09, which is a lot more expensive than some of the other companies. So if we look at the strike price of 195 to 230, we can see you be paying around $203 to about $420, and that's considering if the price doesn't continue to grow. Now these may be a little more expensive, but it gives you a range on what you'll be paying for these different values. And I think a company like LabCorp is definitely overlooked and definitely could yield to be a lot more profitable in the future, especially with what's going on. Now, going into my last one, my second bonus one, I'm going to say it's ticker sign INO. INO has definitely had a pretty good run. INO is a Novia Pharmaceuticals. They basically are developing a vaccine. They went and their CEO came and talked to Donald Trump a few weeks back and Mike, and basically they talked about in April they're going to be having human testing trials. I know it's like a lot of skepticism about if that's actually going to be working, but they definitely last week they got a donation from the Gates Foundation. So I think if something like that, like a company getting a donation from the Gates Foundation, I don't think Bill Gates or the Gates Foundation would be giving money, especially the large amount that they gave to a company they didn't believe was on the right path to help find a vaccine. So that's just my opinion on that. Their moving average 50 is $4.65. Moving average 200 is $3.06, and they ended the week at $7.20. So they're above their moving average 50 and above their moving average 200, even though they kind of sold off a lot after they had that initial spike. Uh, so jumping into one of the articles, we can see okay, so this was released March 12th. Novia Pharmaceuticals 2019 fourth quarter and year-end financial results. So it basically explains all the stuff that we're doing. But one of the highlights that I want to talk about on here, if I can find it, is this one. I know 4800. Basically, it says on January 2020 they were awarded $9 million to help find this vaccine, and also they were awarded $5 million from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help find this cure. So Bill Gates has been talking about finding a cure for quite a while, a pretty long time. In my opinion, there's old articles, old videos of him talking about a possible, medical epidemic happening, and for him and his wife to basically be founding this foundation and giving money to this company, I think yields to validate them as a possible candidate for actually finding a vaccine. So with that being said, with those two donations of the 9 million and 5 million, I think they're on the right path, and one of the prime companies to look forward to increasing as time goes on. But going into options, all of these are in the red, but I definitely believe by May 15th, definitely be some more news. Granted, they said in April that they're going to be doing human trials, but in April, they didn't really say a date. So bringing it out till May, we'll give that time period and a little buffer for all that to happen and all that hype to come out about those. Now, going into it, I would say between $11 and $15 is a good place to start. So I'm going to say between $11 and $15. I definitely can see the price going there. I think the price was at like $12 a couple weeks ago. So it's already hit, these levels. And I think it'll go back to even more than this in the future, especially, once those April trials begin. So if you go in between $11 and $15, you'll be looking to pay $165 between $165 to $215. And this is per contract. So those are all my option picks for the week. Good luck trading to you all out there. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if this video helped you. Hit that bell notification. Do these videos every week. Try to give at least 3 options per week. If you liked it, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.